9 o'clock. It's the beginning, so it's time to begin. Welcome to the Ambient Folk, live from the East Lansing Underground. I kind of do this as if it's a live performance. I think probably I'm going to begin to put these performances into a podcast form. But that's a very early idea at this point. This might be what I consider to be the first of these Ambient Folk Live East Lansing Underground sessions. I've done a few things to try and work some of the kinks out. And it's a pretty low production deal. Just me and my guitars, which you'll see a few of those here in a minute. Really, we're just using this one mic right here. If you listen to the podcast, you can't see it, but it's a single mic. It's 9:01. It's time to begin. Tune I'm going to start off with tonight is a old tune I've had for a while, but haven't played very much. I don't think I've recorded it. It's a song called And Or. And it's a song kind of about Lansing and about the Rust Belt in general. Just this past, recently, I spent some time up north. That's what we call it. In Michigan, we call it up north. It's like where we go. Everyone goes to vacation up north. Place called Traverse City. Highly recommend you visit. If you haven't, probably have, because it's a pretty popular place. But I have a band up there that I've posted about here and there called Clay Wires. It's mostly an improvisational group, but we're starting to integrate some of my songs and probably other songs into it. And so we spent a little time practicing, and this was one of the songs we practiced. So here goes. Street lights line the city streets. Rivers run just beneath. Hobo camps and firelight. Freight train horn sounds through the night. Cold mission food line, waiting for the right time. Back 40, follow the tracks, staying here and coming back. Factories raised dead industry.
man's life don't affect me. Storefronts bare end of a dream. Glass falls out of the mainstream. Hand and oh, hand oh, hand oh, hand oh. Oh, sunlight, and oh, another. I don't see why I care. Say no other way in life. I know. And oh, and oh. That's a tune called And Or. So yeah, it's a tune I've been playing for a little while, and yeah, it's a nice little tune. There's a nice little breakdown in there too. Especially sounds pretty good when you get some drums and a bass guitar player in there. And just making some breaking the number one rule of any performance and doing making neck adjustments just prior to the performance on a high tension neck instrument. Not great, but this neck was in sore shape, so I needed to make a few adjustments to make it playable. This is a song I've been working on, and that's not really a song yet. It's just like some pieces of a song. This is how my songs generally start. They start as these little vamps like a series of chords, a structure, and then from there I kind of work it out, and so it goes kind of like this. Still working out. Can't even remember the chords. Here goes again. All right, this is the right try this time. So what we do here generally is with that we trace the melody, we begin to kind of structure the melody, and so these whatever mumbly words I'm making up follow the melody. So you're so that's the beginning of a song. Yeah, who knows? It may pop up again here. Will almost certainly pop up again somewhere because I like the riff and I've gotten that far with it. Generally, when a song makes it, a melody or a vamp makes it that far, it'll be a keeper. So I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but that's the tune. That's the tune now. I'm gonna go with next tune. I'm gonna do an old standard, Burn Down. It's one of my favorites to play. So here goes with that. This is called Burn Down. This is one I played and recorded many times. Some may notice I'm using no pick, so this is a pick, not a pick. Can't see. It's a pick is he plays a lot louder. When I'm playing this microphone and everything else going single mic, old school style. Louisiana hayride where everyone gathers around one mic in 1941 or whatever. It's a lot of sound overwhelms the mic. So I'm playing with my fingers. Plus, it's good practice. Keeps it kind of mellow. This is the kind of thing I'm doing. This ambient folk. It's meant to be not, more background, more subdued. It's not meant to conk you over the head musically, but there's meant to be some musical substance. Some of my more drony work for folks who are familiar with that, the more drony work, not to say it's without substance, but there's definitely times where the emphasis is on the drone. I have another tune I'm going to play a little later, a brand new tune, that really emphasizes the drones in the guitar. It's always in the guitar. So it's always in the guitar for me, and a lot of my work is that drone starts with these strings. And as I'm kind of plucking, there's definitely a lot of drone in this song, Burn Down. This is you can kind of hear it because you hear the strings drone. Too. So we're gonna do we'll do Burn Down here and it's Burn Down. Listen to the words and what they say, reeling in the moments, fleeting gap, taking time and going back. Brass back favor reveals a trace, remote control guilt taking shape, and I feel like I'm burning down. Embers smolder on the ground, lights go down and day drops away. Veil of night takes its place. Truths and memories, lost episodes and reveries, seal in shadow, nights undone. When can salvation really ever start?
you are feeds of mine. Bodies burned down one more time, and I feel like I'm burning down. Embers smolder on the ground, lights go down and day drops away. Well, of night takes its place, and I feel like I'm burning down. Embers smolder on the ground, lights go down and day drops away. Well, of night takes its place.
Burned down, and then it went into playing it a lot more because I guess I never played a lot of covers, but man, I love Pink Floyd. Probably be some more Pink Floyd showing up. It's also different. It's weird because normally you play that tune like with this. And played with the fingers. There's more cushioning and a padding to it that mutes things, but you also hear this. You'll hear. hear the strings rattle. So, but yeah, so that was Burn Down. Started with Burn Down and went into Breathe, Pink Floyd song from, the great Dark Side of the Moon recording. Such an amazing recording. One day I'm going to do that whole thing to the best of my ability in its entirety. Just me and an acoustic guitar. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can pull that off. Ought to be interesting. Can't believe the time. It's already almost half hour into this thing. This is pretty amazing. 24 minutes. Started a little bit early. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to I'm starting to do more. Well, okay, I've always done a lot with alternate tunings, but it's really, really hard to have alternate tunings when you're on stage. Switching back and forth, you break strings, you do all kinds of stuff like that. It's a kind of real drag. But I'm fortunate that I can that I have the guitars right here available, and I can do this thing. East Lansing Underground is very accommodating in that regard. So climate controlled, and so this is its tuning. If you dig deep into my music, if you dig way deep into my music, there's a record called Elegy for Time. It's a pretty drony ambient piece. It's very drony. It's very old too. It's probably I think it came out. It was like my third record. I think it was 2001. It was kind of a sleeper of sorts. But to me, in some level, for many years, it was one of my favorite recordings of mine. And it was all completely done with solo acoustic guitar. Always, acoustic guitar has been my jam, no pun intended. And so Elegy for Time. I don't even know that the recording was kind of horrible. Quality-wise. I don't think I put it on my Bandcamp page. I've been meaning to. I was going to redo it for like a 20th anniversary. Maybe I still will. Anyways, in any case, almost that whole recording was done in this tuning called Dad Gad. Well, this is technically not Dad Gad. This is D-A-D, but instead of G, it's an F sharp A-D, and it has a nice little tone to it. So anyway, this Dad Gad tuning here. And these alternate tunings are the people who do like all like the weird, which I can't do. So that kind of what is it? That there's that one of my first YouTube guy who was great with all those weird videos of him doing those amazing guitar playing on acoustic guitar with the rhythm stuff. Anyway, this is a song I wrote. It's called The Reach, and it's brand new. I haven't recorded it yet. I actually have to put it up on the services here at some point, Spotify, but I don't know when it's going to be released because I've been kind of playing with the recording I made of it. But this is called The Reach, and it's a very different tune from most of my music. So here goes. Right, so here goes. Night rains move across the darkness. Lightning illuminates the treetops above. Shades of gray move slowly across the dark sky. With an imperfect stillness, I know your love. It's a lonesome sound moving on. It's a lonesome feeling moving away. Rain slows and distant thunder rolls. I've reached the end of this day. Silhouettes of trees frame the western sky.
Distant freight train blows its horn. I lay here thinking about tomorrow and yesterday, and all the todays before I was born. It's a lonesome sound moving on. It's a lonesome feeling moving away. Rain slows and distant thunder rolls. I've reached the end of this day.
That's called The Reach. Totally brand new song. Wrote it quite recently. Kind of been actually this week. I wrote it this week. Yeah, it's brand new. It's brand spanking new. So that's The Reach. And that's this is should point out this guitar right here, Seagull S6, just beat up. Got all kinds of holes in it. Tape it up because actually my taping of it changes the sound. This is probably, it's got a cedar top. These are made up in Canada. I got this instrument in trade. I don't know, I traded somebody something for it. I've tried to do everything I can to get this guy in shape. Works great for alternate tunings because the intonation isn't good. So intonation is if I played E here, which is actually a D, then it's going to be the same D here, and it's going to be the same E here, and it's going to be the same E here, and it's going to be the same E here. So when you're playing a lot of around the whole neck, like if you're just playing up here, then you don't really worry about it so much. You can kind of have a crummy guitar. The intonation is bad. But when you're trying to play across the whole neck, you need the intonation to be good. With this guitar, the intonation is virtually shot in standard tuning. So I do this drop tuning. What's happening is the soundboard is caving in. Some of the bracing is messed up. I took this to a local place to have them repair it, and their advice to me was to basically put it in the trash. Now the problem with that, there's only one problem with that. This is the best sounding guitar I've ever played. This is Willie Nelson has a guitar that's beat to hell, and he has a name for it. It's called Trigger. This is my Trigger. Sadly, until sometime later on down the line, when I can get a luthier to go and do what needs doing to make her and bring her back to life, mostly she's going to be resigned to sticking close to home at the East Lansing Underground. So, yeah, this is my trusty 2003 Seagull S6. In fact, I think there's quite a bit of provenance to this instrument in particular, local provenance, local to mid-Michigan, is there was a guy who used to play he was like I'd say if he wasn't, he's probably a homeless guy, but he was quite well versed in playing guitar, and he'd be around town playing guitars, and I'd see him playing a Seagull S6 for years, early 2000s. But, maybe 10 or 15 years before I got this guitar. And this guitar was so played for its age, because it was only maybe 10 years old when I got it. I was certain this is that guitar, because next time I saw him, he was playing a Takamine guitar, and I hadn't seen him for years at that point. And so I have a belief that this was his instrument, and it's a well-worn instrument, and it sounds beautiful. So, this is the Seagull S6. You will hear from her again. She's a fine instrument. And maybe even, I don't know, maybe a new one would sound good too, but
Speaking of new guitars, I got this guy, and it's pretty awesome. I think, I don't know what I'm going to do here for this last tune. I kind of want to do something short as we wrap up. But I don't want to do something I've played before either. So, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think that I'm going to play something that I haven't thought about in a while. At least part of it. And it's something I've heard. I started working on it and I kind of let go, and so I'm going to try it again.
I'll see her know how way I go, how way, how sad now, how way. What you wonder I am. I gotta go. I'm alone to say tomorrow. Instead I say hello. Hello to forever. Hello to now. Hello forever. And I say goodbye. I say goodbye. I say goodbye. I'll say goodbye.
Well, thank you for joining the me as I do this live set, the ambient folk from East Lansing Underground, and I hope you'll join me again soon.